Dyslexic Genius here. We're back taking the gear train off the bottom of the Amberola V. And I'm going to admit one thing. This is the worst machine I've ever taken apart. This thing hates me a lot. But it's okay. I enjoy this. So we took the bearings out, and then we got the screw out of here. But what I had to do was I had to loosen this up a little. So what I did, because everything was glued together, I've modified a pair of thin vice grips like this. And on this shaft, there's a recess right in here. So what I did was I came in here and I grabbed it so I could turn the gear like this, loosen it up. And I loosened it up and I pushed it this way, or pulled it this way. I worked it this way because now it's just like an Amberola 30. You flip that in, pull up, and the gear comes out like that. But this gear has to move. Now the other problem is this screw does not want to come out, and I'm going to have to drill and retap it, put it in the mill and fix that. That's an easy fix. The other part of the gear train, I've gotten in there, and I found a burr on it that's, when they put this gear on, they didn't hit the slot of the shaft. So we're going to have to beat it out. I don't do this very often.
Is there a burr on the tooth?
No, on the shaft that the gears go on.
Okay.
Yeah, they missed the flat area. You can barely see it right. There, the flat area. They had this thing setting way over, and they had when they screwed it in with a screw, that funny screw I talked about, it burred the shaft, so nothing wants to come out. So literally you have to beat it out. So we're going to do, oh, I love playing with fire. I was never allowed to play with fire when I was a child. My parents wouldn't let me play with fire, but man, now I got to play with fire all the time, where I just ran out of go juice. Okay, let's see if it works anyway. We're going to take the shaft with a brass thing to hit the pinion. On this, you have to be very, very careful. And set it up like that. Now, the reason I'm going this way and not this way is this gear hits this casting, and it'll burr the gear if you go this way. But this way, the smaller gear hits the casting, and it's strong enough to do it. So you get in here. You can hear it when I'm hitting it. It's coming apart. You see how this came loose like that?
Will that come out now?
Yeah, but we got to go a little bit farther because the gear that's holding this up is the little one. And when you're beating on it, you know, you'll go, oh my God, he's using a ball peen hammer. When you're beating on it and you're holding like the brass rod, you can feel the brass rod moving. If it's going like boom, like you're hitting it on an anvil, you better stop real quick because you might have to cut the shaft out. But I can feel it as I'm beating it, and it's really starting to motivate. Not yet. You can see how far I've gotten. It's coming. And I'm using a small ball peen. I'm not using a big one. Oh yeah, it's coming.
Can't you grab it now?
I can't grab it now, but let me see. Let's grab the shaft because I can fix all this later. Yeah, there's a flat. The brass is tightening up around it. Let's see what we got. Okay, it's not coming. Let me shove it all the way through. Yeah, there we go. A little bit farther. Almost there. There you go. See this burr right here?
Right.
See this shiny piece?
Yeah.
They didn't hit here, they hit over here, and that's what caused all the problem to get that shaft out. Where's my little one? Now the brass warped its way around.
There it comes.
Because it's brass, it'll move real fast. I'll set it up like that. I need a longer punch. One can never have enough punches, screwdrivers, or wrenches. So I'm going to hold the brass and I'm going to hold the gear so it doesn't hit anything. There we go. All that work to get this apart. We'll fix it all later. I'm going to show you how to fix this and how they screwed it up. Now, we need to take off the ratchet mechanism. Before I take off the ratchet mechanism, somebody played in here. Now, you see how we have a washer here? And you see how they've pinned it on to hold this gear on? Now, if Edison was doing something and we had a set screw here, a screw here to hold this shaft in place, so you get up here and you go, oh, I have a screw here, so if I unscrew it and I give it a little tap, this whole thing will come out. Well, somebody, Uncle Bubba, been in here. We're going to have to fix Uncle Bubba. So now what you do, I think this is 7/16. We come in here like this, and we undo that little brass piece right there, that nut, just like an Edison home. And knowing this thing, it's probably been glued up. We'll just give it a tap here. There we go. So we have washers in here and all this. This is just right out of a home when you put them in and you put them together. The next thing I'm going to do is I will probably come in here with a small grinder and I'll just grind this down so it'll just pop off, and then we'll have to build a whole new shaft. But I'm going to tell you, this thing has been a beast to take apart. And in the life of doing phonographs, I don't do that kind of beating. Okay, a lot of people do, I don't. But the casting here was real strong, and we could get in there, we could knock everything out for that center one. Now everything's apart, and this was the easy part. Now, all this, all the gears, all this stuff, all this, all that over there, all has to be clean. Cleanliness next to godliness, so we can eat off of it to do heart surgery, and then we will assemble. And that's my tip for the day.